Hello, welcome back. First time back at home after Tamworth. We had so many shows in Tamworth, and thank you all for coming down and saying hi and taking part in it. But we do still have tonight's show and tomorrow night's show from Tamworth because we had a few issues with the internet. It got to the busier days. It was quite slow a week, but then the last 2 days in Tamworth, it just was extremely slow. So we didn't go live for those last couple of shows. So we wanted to bring those to you still. So if you have any questions or anything, or you're at the festival, tell us in the comments. We want to know what you thought. And for those of you that were watching from home, tell us what you got to see and what you enjoyed about it, watching it through everyone else's eyes. Sometimes that's really hard to watch, but sometimes it's nice to be able to watch it from home in the comfort of home and seeing what everyone else is out there doing. So we're going to welcome Gav into the room. We haven't had him on the show before, so we would welcome him in and we can ask your questions, so pop them in the comments. Hello.
Hello, Danni.
Hi. It feels really strange because we've just come from the same town and I didn't get to see you in person.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes, well, it's a pleasure to be on in your show.
Thank you for being so patient with us because we had so many internet issues, and then this week it's just been crazy. Has it settled down for you? Have you guys had a couple of quieter days?
We've had a couple of quieter days. We played in Newcastle 2 nights ago, and we're playing tomorrow night in the Central Coast, and so we've got another gig coming up in Narrabeen in a couple more days. So it's sort of it's chugging along.
It's a nice way to travel around the country.
Yes.
It was your first Tamworth, like your first official Tamworth this week. Did it leave you impressed? I know you're probably absolutely exhausted and probably still overwhelmed, like we all are always from Tamworth. But will you be back?
Yes, no, I'm looking forward to coming back. It was a great experience, which came about through a WA festival, the Chapman Valley Country Music Festival, and I was part of an emerging artist program, and I was the runner-up to Darren Gillis, who I think you've had on your show before, and the organizer found places for us to play at the festival, which was an opportunity which I was excited to take up.
Absolutely. Well, we were talking about that just before we went live, weren't we? Like that networking process in the industry, and Tamworth is fantastic for new fans, but it's also fantastic for those of us in the industry to get to see each other and get to, share contacts and share venues and just learn from each other.
Yeah. Well, the generosity of all the people there was really, really great, and giving us advice about things, and we've been referred a number of places to play, and it's been really great.
Lucky. We're very lucky to be in this industry, that's for sure. Now, I was talking to you earlier in the week about your music, and I want to touch base on Tamworth and everything that you're doing with your tour at the moment. But can you tell us a little bit about how you got into music to start with and where that inspiration come from? And because you cross over a few different genres and sounds, which I really love. I like that. I like to hear that sound. So tell us a bit about it.
Yeah, well, I came to writing music sort of late, although I started when I was 10 playing the fiddle, and so I've played fiddle, trumpet, a bit of drums, and when I was younger, and then I'm sort of morphed into teaching myself guitar and mandolin and banjo and piano, and
oh my gosh,
which has been sort of great for songwriting, because if you sort of switch instruments, I found it's sort of quite cool to you come up with a bit like retuning your guitar, really. Different ways of chord progressions and that sort of thing, and I've been inspired by some of Bruce Springsteen's music, and I love being able to take bits of bits of different styles and sort of incorporate them into the song, and also
Yes.
like different players and different instruments. And I see it as a big sort of cooking exercise where you sort of put all sorts of elements into the mix and see what comes out.
That is exciting, and I guess seeing it from different musical perspectives, that would have to help that imagination too. You know, do you have a preferred one that you use for songwriting to start with? Is guitar sort of like where you start, or piano?
No, I just sort of keep swapping instruments. I just find that your hands get put in different places when you're playing different instruments, which comes out with different interpretations of chords. And most recently, I've been experimenting with different tunings of the guitars, which has been really cool. Because different things sort of pop out when you're just mucking around, which I'm sure a lot of your listeners would and yourself would appreciate.
Definitely. And you were saying you came to the writing process a little later. What was it that inspired that to start the writing?
Well, I think it was to do with the lyrical side of things, because one thing that I consider myself quite strong on is that I've got quite a long background of sort of faffing around with different instruments and stuff, and so I sort of had all these chord progressions, and what actually happened with me was that I discovered a songwriting course, which sort of got me out of I learned all these techniques of lyric writing, and from that, I basically, at the same time, I had suggested that I should take a guitar lesson, and I was lucky enough to be with people that could assist.
Oh, wow. To help with all of it. I think you just froze. It'll come back in a second. Yep, got you back, I think. Can you hear me? Internet is so unreliable at the moment, isn't it? We'll give it a second and it will come back. Pop it in the comments if you can hear us still. I think you're all good. I'm just going to pop you, Gav, if you can hear me. I'm going to pop you out of the room, bring you back in, because sometimes the internet doesn't like it and it will reset it. There we go. Now I've got you. It fixed.
That's
better.
Yeah, sorry.
Australian internet is all that is.
Right.
Oh dear, no.
Okay.
We were, as we were just saying before it cut out, about you and your guitar lesson and people that can guide you. I think it sounds like that was a really good thing too, because everything that you sort of talked about, you seem to enjoy the writing and the creative side. Is a bit of an outlet for you when you write, or is that sort of what?
Yes, well, I've sort of it's become a bit of an addiction, actually, which you and your listeners would probably appreciate, that you get these ideas that won't go away, and then you can't work them out, and then eventually it morphs into a song, and because once I learnt how to get the lyrics together, we ended up doing I think we did 60 demo tapes in a year.
Oh gosh, 60! Wow.
Yeah, and then
that is fantastic. I think it's frozen again. Just a moment. I'll pop it up, and again, there we go. Internet is just not happy with us today. It should come back. Sorry, guys. Nope, doesn't want to work. That's right. We'll give it a minute. While we're waiting for the internet to have its moment, I will tell you tomorrow night we've got Courtney Kyle joining us. She has just come back. Oh, I think we've got you back, Gav.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the internet. Australian internet, I'm not a fan.
Yes.
That's all right. Tell us about where you are at the moment, because you guys are from WA. You've come across, you've played in South Australia and Tamworth. You did Tamworth over the week. You're kind of on a bit of a journey.
Yes.
on the road, seeing things and taking music with you.
Yes, well, we're on the way. I'm travelling with Darren Gillis, and he's been nominated for our Country Music Award in WA. So we're vaguely heading back to Melbourne, and we're going to go back to Perth for a week, sort of mid-February, and then we come back to Melbourne and go from Melbourne up to Brisbane, finishing playing in Gympie. And so it's been really exciting just to get out and see the country and you know meet people and get our songs out there. So it's
Absolutely.
we're coming to you from the Central Coast at a beach resort that we're playing tomorrow night.
Sounds beautiful. Sounds like is that Darren's caravan behind you?
Yes, it is behind us somewhere.
I think so. I wasn't sure if it was him I saw go. He stepped into the caravan earlier, and I thought I reckon I know that person. Is this something that you have thought about doing for a long time, traveling around and taking music on the road?
Yes. Well, I've done a bit of travelling around. That I've done tours up to Exmouth and Coral Bay, and I've been down to Esperance and Albany with sort of festivals and stuff in WA. And I played in Sydney when I was here, just popping over when the odd gig turned up. But I've played in Los Angeles and Nashville and Hong Kong and Singapore. It's been the other countries, but
my gosh, Singapore.
No, Singapore is a pretty cool place, and Hong Kong also is. It's been really cool. I mean,
I guess
the good thing about music, it takes you
there you go.
Get all sorts of interesting things.
Oh, I think it'll come back. We've learnt it will come back in a second. Taking music all around the world was what we were just talking about. We'll give it a moment and it'll come back on. But why doesn't it want to go? There we go. Is that working now? I think so. Maybe not. Hi, Jonathan. What time of day is it over there now? Because you've been sitting up to all hours of the day watching us here during the festival. Been amazing, actually, watching you do that. It's a true effort, and I bet you're exhausted as we are because you've been up for the whole festival. I don't know if it is going to come back this time, but here we go. I think he's logged in. That's better.
Yeah.
Are you there? Can you hear us? That's better. We've got you back. It's morning time over there, Jonathan. Jonathan just popped in while you were out, while we are trying to fix it, and he said it's morning time in the UK at the moment. So he's been watching from the festival from afar.
Nice one.
While we're talking about the UK, you guys, as we were saying before you went live, you won, you got in the charts and won the award in the UK and in Tassie, which is where I am. Tell us how that came about for the UK.
Well, it sort of came about a little bit by accident. I was looking for. I was in Nashville and I met someone that introduced me into radio promotions, and so we've been played around the world. And one of the contacts was a guy that has it's called the Hot Disc UK country charts, and as part of that I was on Sky TV, and we've had a number of songs in those charts, which has been pretty exciting. But the Railroad Track song was number 1 for 3 weeks, which was quite cool.
Oh wow. 3 weeks,
and so that goes to UK country radio stations and all through Europe, I believe. And so that was really exciting, and it was also exciting to be in the Tasmanian country charts with a number of songs. And
I have seen that come up a few times down here. We're going to have to get you guys across the water and down. We've got a big hunger for music in Tassie. it's growing a lot.
Yes, yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to coming to Tasmania. Actually, it's a beautiful place. And
Have you been before? Have you been down?
yes, yeah, I have been, and I know some of my associates have played in Tasmania at various festivals, and and I'm told of the vibrant musical culture down there, and it looks like an exciting place to come down and visit and play.
It sure is. Actually, we're very, very lucky down here. We do have quite a few good festivals and ones that are really growing quite rapidly. I know we've got one coming up shortly. Actually, we've got two coming up very soon in the next few weeks, and then quite a few as the year rolls on. And we even have some in the middle of winter. So if you come down, you probably need to really think about what clothes you bring, because in the middle of winter, it's going to be freezing if you make it here for those ones.
Yes.
Bring your gloves, because your hand's not going to like to play the guitar as cold as they're going to get. So have them by the stage ready to throw them on. Did you have any highlights? I mean, Tamworth is always highlights up there, but did you have any highlights, moments in Tamworth that were just, you really enjoyed? Do you have any venues that you can't wait to get back to?
Yeah. Well, I think it was, it was all round, from, I played a number of stages, and also I got to play as part of the TSA showcases, which was pretty cool. And it's great to meet the other songwriters and the emerging people. And it was great to see the youngsters. There's a lot of great young people that are incredibly talented, and it was great to see them play. And it was also great to meet some of the some of the stars. We got to hang out with the Wolf Brothers and a number of the Golden Guitar, and I got to meet John Williamson, and Kevin Bloody Wilson was there as well. So it was but it was just a very friendly, with a lot of great music to listen to, and there's it shows the amazing quality in Australia and the diversity of talent, and everyone's got their own styles, and so it was really exciting to see.
It is really exciting to see, and you're right, there's so many people, but touching on that, really important that everyone's got their own styles. It's so good that we do have our own styles, and there's no shortage of great music. We've just got so much talent coming out at the moment.
Yes, no, it's and it's and I was also excited to see the buskers and the buskers final, because there was so much talent in the buskers final, and
it was next level this year. I walked the streets like I'm sure you and many of us did. I am really glad that I didn't have to judge that, because they were brilliant, and they were from tiny little people to well-established people. It wasn't just new artists. It was a mix of artists out in the busking this year. And you could spend all day just in Peel Street listening to them. It was incredible talent, and I tell you what, they do very well to do that out there in that heat, don't they? Incredible.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's very impressive. It's and it's also been really good traveling with Darren Gillis, because his songs are really amazing, and it was great to see him showcase his talents. And,
actually, I was going to talk to you both about that. Have you guys had any time on the road to sit down and just write together and just spend time?
Not as yet. We've just been we're doing a sort of a bit of a taste of Tamworth, or the Road to Tamworth tour, and we basically play individually, and we just swap the stage over, which I think.
Oh, it's cut out again. I think. Give it a moment. Nope, it doesn't want to work. Oh, there we go. We can hear you now. I think you are. Hang on. Oh, I think it's cut out again. Give it another second. But as I was saying before, We've got Courtney Cole coming on tomorrow night because we did see her in Tamworth. We just couldn't go live with her in Tamworth because of the internet, which is what's going on now. We've got you back. Absolutely. Yeah, as we were just saying about Tamworth, you guys are on your East Coast tour and getting to travel around together. Is it just the 2 caravans, or have you got how many people are traveling with you guys?
Well, it's just the 2 of us. Darren's got the caravan and I'm in a swag. So
you're in a swag. My
yes,
goodness.
and so this.
Were you in the swag at Tamworth? That would have been very hot.
It's been. Yes, yeah. Well, actually, it was one of the things that I found amazing was the weather, and because I had it opened up, and then the rain came down, and fortunately, it actually kept most of the rain out. But it's been good. It's it's a very comfortable swag, fortunately, and it's been really great.
It sounds like an amazing time for you guys. Where's the best place for us to keep an eye on you and your music, and even to get merch or albums? What's the best spot to look?
There's my website, which is gavbrown.com.au, which I think you put in the link.
Yes,
I've got a band.
For you guys.
Yes, I've got there's a store on there. I've got music on Bandcamp as well that people can download stuff. And the other place is I'm quite keen on the YouTube. We've got a number of YouTube videos up which have been doing quite well, and I quite like we've got some acoustic versions of the songs, and I intend to do a lot more sort of videos, and there's also, we're in the process of, I've got 2 albums which are almost finished, and another album that needs to be recorded. So I've got a lot of stuff coming out. But if people wanted to check out the YouTube clips, I've been very lucky to play with some very talented players. I've had there's Lucky Oceans, who's got 3 Grammys, and I was very pleased to have Ian Simpson, who played with Slim Dusty, and I think he's played with Keith Urban at various times. But there's a few legendary players over in Perth that have helped out with the project. So it's so if people want to check out,
if you go to the YouTube page and or the website, you'll be able to see them. If you guys want to have a look in the comments, they are at the top of the comments, all the links, if you need to click on them. But have a look, because on the YouTube channel you've got is fantastic. You have got some amazing musicians performing with you. I know we were at the Golden Guitars, and I know you got to go to the Golden Guitars, but we didn't get to see you there because you're in the other room. But we were talking to Darren and Highway 95 and thinking about doing a showcase next year, a WA showcase, and potentially a Tassie showcase. I think it'd be good to get us all in the one room and have a bit of fun.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that was the other thing which I was really excited. The talent that was coming that played at the festival with Scarlet Sway were on the main stage. I really enjoyed them, and
they are amazing.
And Highway 95 and Darren and Ray Jones is fantastic, and there was lots of amazing people, which to have a showcase would be great.
Absolutely. Highway 95 just popped in to say hi. Jonathan has popped in saying we need to go to the UK. I agree, Jonathan. Actually, I'll send you a message later on. I've got something up my sleeve around that. But it honestly was so good to see you guys in Tamworth. I'm sorry that we didn't get to do the show from the festival. Internet is still a bit of a problem. We are working on switching that at the moment because it's just so unreliable at the moment. I don't know why it's got so bad. I don't know if it's just time of year or the weather or what, but we're gonna switch it up, and we have got different things coming in. So please be patient. We're going to fix it next year in Tamworth. We're taking our own internet. We're not going to be stressing about everybody being on the Wi-Fi next year. We've learned a few lessons this year, I think. But it was absolutely lovely to finally get to do the show, Darren. You've been very patient. Darren came with us, and you have been really patient with us since, because he was the one that gave me your details to actually get you on the show. So I was very excited for that. And Darren got to do a show, and I think he was the day before the internet died. I think it was, he did it Wednesday, and then Thursday was the day that we started to have really big problems. And then we had Highway 95 that day or the day. It was so hard. No, even for them, I know we didn't get to do a greatly big show because the internet just wasn't coping. But I think next year let's do a showcase. Let's do a show in person. And if you can come down here. But if people are out on the road and are anywhere near where Gav and Darren are, go and say hi. Go and watch a show. Let us know. Send us. We love hearing from you guys, and you sending us the photos and the footage when you do see artists out and about. So please keep sending them through, because it's absolutely wonderful to see. It'll be interesting to see at the end, Gav, what areas have been, your favourites, and whether it was sort of areas that you expected or some of those surprise spots that you guys have been travelling to.
Yeah, we've had. Everywhere's been brilliant. We've had, South Australia was amazing, and Victoria was amazing, and we've had, amazing shows up here, and Tamworth was amazing. So, and I'm looking. I think Queensland will be equally amazing as well.
I look forward to hearing what you guys think. You have to go out and check where the muster is when you get to Gympie. Queensland, by the time you get there, it'll still be pretty warm, so you guys you'll be enjoying it. By the time you guys get to there, it was starting to cool off down here. It's pretty good today, actually. It's been fairly warm. Clinton has popped in at the where is that tavern? Do you know where that one is, Gav?
It was a little bit out of town. We met Clinton at the there was a Have a Go show. The Fibbers Have a Go show we played, and he played as well. It's great to see him
jumping in.
Yeah,
I love that we've got so many people popping in. It's so lovely to see, and I'm really sorry that the internet has not played ball with us as well tonight. But you've stuck with me, so thank you for doing that. Thank you for coming and talking to us. I've loved having you on. With your albums that are coming out, I hope will come back and we can talk to you as you start to release the new music as the year goes on. It sounds like you don't have to write for quite some time if you don't want to.
Yeah, well, and I've been lucky enough because I've actually put some of the songs which aren't quite ready for release. They've been a part of the Wham Song of the Year awards, and so there's been a number that have been nominated before it. They've been released, so we've got some good tracks coming out. So stay tuned.
How do you choose a song to enter? Because you've got, as you said, you've got 3 albums that are written and a couple that are almost ready to come out. But how do you choose which songs you enter?
I think it's just whichever are ready to go in, and I mean it's competitions are always a bit of it can be a bit subjective, and if you like the songs and you've got great, you're happy with it, you put it in and see how you go.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I think it's a really good way for artists to get feedback too, and for writers, going in competitions, and it doesn't matter whether you win or you don't, but just hearing other people's thoughts on what they think your music's about and where it fits in the world, and it's great. It's great to see people doing
that. Well, I think it's because we've had 5 nominations for Song of the Year in the last 3 or 4 years or something. So just chugging along.
It's good to see, and it has to boost you up. Sometimes this industry can be quite lonely, and so to see people appreciating what you do must feel really nice as well, and being able to reach people. We are very lucky. I'm so glad that you braved coming on. Thank you so much for sticking out with me. Jan's popped in to say hi as well. There's lots of people popping in. We apologise tonight. The internet hasn't wanted to play ball a little bit, but we've stuck with it, and we will edit all those little bits out, and it will be fine. It was so good to meet you properly, and I hope tonight that you guys get to sit out there and enjoy that weather and have a song or two relaxing while you're out there.
We will do.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us. As I said before, we'll be back tomorrow night with Courtney Kyle, because also we couldn't do her show in Tamworth. So I promised everybody this week I would sneak those shows that we missed out because they weren't working. We will sneak them in this week. And we actually did get through most of them, which was really nice. We had a great time. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow night. And thank you again, Gav.
Oh, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
See you guys.